me get this out of the way first. The Eagles receivers are awful, and they need to do something about it before it's too late, because it's already looking like it's about to be too late with the way this is going. I can't believe how many drop passes there are per game. Now Alshon can't catch a ball. Are you kidding me? First it was Agholor. Then it was just not even going for a catch. Mack Hollins needs to pack up his bags and get out of Philly because he sucks. He's the worst wide receiver I've ever seen. He has more penalty yards than passing yards this season. 126 penalty yards and 125 receiving yards. He sucks, and I can't believe he's still a Philadelphia Eagle right now. I can't believe it. He's the worst player I have ever seen play football. I don't get why he's on the team. I don't get why he's a starter on an NFL roster when you have guys like Dante Moncrief, Dez Bryant, Antonio Brown, who I know is a nut, but at least he can catch a ball and, make a move or something. Do something. Get open. He hasn't caught a pass since September. He's terrible. You have good, solid receivers out there. Even Jordan Matthews, I know he's slow, but at least he's better than Mack Hollins. At least Jordan Matthews might be able to get open. Because Mack Hollins is the worst. I'm telling you, he's the worst receiver I have ever seen play for any franchise in my life. He is the worst. And he needs to not be in the NFL anymore. If the Eagles want to do anything, they need to cut Mack Hollins, get him out of here, sign a speed guy like Dante Moncrief or Dez Bryant, who's still alive. Yes, he could still play football. Yes, he torched the Eagles for plenty of years. So why don't you go out and sign the guy? How about that? Do something for once. Instead of playing Mack Hollins, who has done absolutely nothing the last 2 months of football and hasn't caught a pass since the Lions game. I made my channel the day Mack Hollins last catch caught a football. He sucks. And if anybody has this dude's back, then you must clearly not watch football. Because Mack Hollins is a disgrace of a wide receiver. He's a disgrace of a pick in the NFL draft. Now I'm taking it out on Mack Hollins because he's been in the system now. He's not even playing. He doesn't even do special teams right. Because he still gets penalties. He holds. He passes interferences. He blocks in the back. He's the worst. He can't do the little things right. He can't set a block without pass interferencing, without blocking in the back or holding. He can't. It's physically impossible for him. And Alshon yesterday. Yeah, he might have had 36 yards and 4 catches. Well, he should have had more. He dropped 3 of them. He dropped 3 passes. And okay, yeah, congratulations, Agholor. You finally didn't drop a ball. Well, how about you stop looking for the penalty every play when you don't catch it? Because 99% of the time you don't. And go up, try to catch it. Try to catch the ball. Because I swear to God, the play down the sideline, when Wentz just lofted it up there, he didn't even attempt to go for it. He just sat there. He didn't attempt to go for it. He looked right at the ref and said, where's the flag? Maybe if you showed a little effort, then you would have gotten the flag. But you don't. You alligator arm 90% of your passes, and you stink too. Jordan Matthews isn't a good receiver, but he's better than 2/3 of the receivers that we have now. Any receiver out there right now, Michael Crabtree, Dez Bryant, Antonio Brown, Dante Moncrief, I guarantee you they are all better than 2/3 of our wide receivers that start each week. We have, I swear to God, I honestly believe that we have the worst receiving core in the NFL. We actually might have the worst receiving core in the NFL. the slop that we had to put out there during the fourth quarter yesterday, Mack Hollins, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, and Nelson Agholor after Alshon limped off the field. Yes, I understand Deshaun Jackson is hurt. And let me remind you that he had one catch yesterday for 5 yards and then went out. And then that was it. That was the end of Deshaun Jackson against the Bears. That was it. So until we get Deshaun Jackson back, Mack Hollins is going to continue to play football, and he's going to continue to do absolutely nothing because that's what he's been doing for the last month of the season. You got to get a receiver. I don't care who it is at this point. You could throw anybody out there at this point. Anybody with a little bit of NFL experience, I guarantee, is better than Mack Hollins. Bring back Torrey Smith. Who cares? Yeah, he might not be able to catch as good. At least he can get open. At least he's speed. At least he can run. I don't care that he's retired. I guarantee you he's still better than Mack Hollins, and he probably hasn't been training all year. That's what I wanted to get out of the way, that the receiving core sucks on this football team. But let's get to the positives. The Eagles are 5-4 going into the bye week. They beat the Bears 22-14. They were also up 19-0 in this football game. The Bears cut it down to a 5-point deficit. And we went back to the offense that's been working all day, and that's the run game. The ground and pound rushing game works so much better than the passing game. Not that Carson Wentz isn't a good quarterback. I don't want to hear that. Because Carson Wentz is the only quarterback that can actually keep his mouth shut in times like this. I guarantee you, if Dak Prescott was having these problems, if he didn't have Amari Cooper or Michael Gallup, I guarantee you he would be freaking out right now. Going to the media, well, at least my guys probably can't catch, so, I mean, it's not on me. No. Wentz has kept his mouth shut, and he went 26 for 39. And let me remind you, Alshon dropped 3 of them. So he should have been 29 of 39 for 239 yards, a touchdown, and a 91.7 passer rating on the day yesterday. Wentz had a solid game. He's not a bad quarterback. People need to get that out of their head that Nick Foles is still this guy that can come in and win us a Super Bowl, because that was a miracle season. And everybody knows it. The underdog effect had a toll on this team. And they went in and they won the Super Bowl. Maybe Wentz wouldn't have gotten it done, but he was the MVP up until the injury against the Rams. And he really was. He was the MVP of that season until he went out against the Rams. And if you don't think that, then you're living under a rock. Jordan Howard, 82 yards and a touchdown. He's good. He's really good. How we got him for a 6th round pick. They gotta resign this. They gotta resign this dude. It's thunder and lightning with Jordan Howard and Miles Sanders, who had 42 rushing yards and 31 receiving yards. 31 receiving yards. I really like Miles Sanders. Like, I've been a fan of him since he's been into the league, since we drafted him. I've been a fan. Got his jersey the first week. I really like Boobie Miles. I really do. And he started off the season a little slow, not the guy that we expected. He started off as the number 1 running back, kind of like how Carter Hart is doing with the Flyers. They just needed some veteran presence, and then it'll keep the young guys motivated. You started Miles Sanders in the beginning of the season. He didn't do great. He fumbled twice against the Lions. You bring in Jordan Howard, and now Miles Sanders looks like he's great in the passing game, and he's speed. If you give him a little bit of space, he will take it to the house. We saw that last week against the Bills, 65-yard touchdown. Zach Ertz was the player of the game yesterday. 103 yards, 1 touchdown, 9 receptions, and 1 beautiful one-handed grab for 25 yards. it's about time that the Eagles incorporated Zach Ertz back into the offense. Because he's a top 3 tight end. Even on a down year, he is still a top 3 tight end in the league, and everybody knows that. Kittle, Kelsey, and Ertz are the top 3 tight ends in this league. And it's a major drop-off after that. Love to see Ertz get back into things. He was hyped, screaming. I like that. Now on the defensive side, Josh Sweat gets a huge sack on Trubisky. Brandon Graham gets a sack. He's had 1 sack in the last 6 games. Malcolm Jenkins had half a sack, and Gerard Avery had half a sack in his Eagles debut. The Eagles didn't look great whatsoever. They didn't look great whatsoever. But they got the job done, and that's all that matters. Because if they didn't, they'd be going into the bye under 500, playing New England and Seattle, because those are the next 2 games. They play New England, and then they play Seattle, both at home, which is good, but it's New England. They're a great football team, and Seattle is also a really good football team. That they both know how to win. They both won Super Bowls. But it's good feeling to go into the bye week 5-4. Maybe Howie Roseman will call up a receiver or something, test him out in the bye week. Maybe Mack Hollins won't be playing. I hope not, because he's awful. Deshaun Jackson, it's not definite that he'll play after the bye week, but they are saying that he will probably most likely play after the bye week. Again, he only played a few snaps, went out, re-aggravated his injury. It's just annoying at this point. We signed the guy. He had an amazing first game. Amazing first game. And he hasn't been... He's literally played 13 snaps since, probably. Maybe not even. We need some receivers. This receiving core is bad. Everything else is really good. Our offensive line is really good. That's another thing I want to point out. Andre Dillard had arguably the best defensive player bull rushing him almost the entire game. Didn't allow 1 sack, only allowed 4 tackles on Khalil Mack. That's really good for Andre Dillard. He's a rookie, and he has Khalil Mack coming at him every snap. Khalil Mack got so frustrated he actually switched sides and went to Lane Johnson's side. So Andre Dillard is really good. Like, I really like Andre Dillard. They did say once Jason Peters is back and healthy, he'll put the spot's his. Look, if we know anything, we know for a fact Jason Peters is going to go back out. He's going to do something, and then Andre Dillard is going to go right back in. Because that's just how it's been for the last couple of years with Jason Peters. He's a great tackle. He's a Hall of Fame tackle. He's old. He's going to retire after this season. Same thing with Darren Sproles. And then we move on. And then you have Miles Sanders. And then you have Andre Dillard. Or Boston Scott. Andre Dillard. Whoever. You have 2 replacements as of right now. You got just play out the rest of the season. Maybe get a run in. If we can win the next 2 games, that's huge. We'll be 7-4. And then we play Miami, the Giants, twice, Washington, and Dallas at home. Now that's it for me. I'm out. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Eagles 22-14 win over the Chicago Bears. They go into the bye week 5-4 on the season. That's it for me. I'm out. Peace.